Hello, this is me again. I just feel like talking. So I want to talk about in the 3D type of realm right now. This particular plane of existence. I said this before that I don't believe that men and women are compatible. I get that there are some relationships that work out. There are some men and women together that they have great relationships that are married or whatever, and they have great relationships. But from what I'm seeing right now, men and women are not compatible. They're just not compatible. Um, it almost seems like women were supposedly created just to. It seems like I want to say like women were almost just kind of used just to give birth to male to keep them going. I just feel like I want to say that because it just seems like women are just really. It don't seem like that. It's a fact. Women are not valued at all, and there's nothing that you can say to change anything. Like you can't. It's nothing that you can say that can change it. Something has to be done about it, but it's nothing you can say to change to make people value you, and that's men. It's nothing that women can do that can make men value them. It's nothing that they can say to them. And I said this before, but I want to talk about this stuff with this thing going on with men saying that they forgot their wallets and stuff. You know, like on the first or second date and all that stuff with these guys who are forgetting their wallets and stuff. I just happened to see this little video on Tony TKO about another man, quote unquote, forgot my wallet trick, and talking about how these men like to test these women on the first date to see if they would pay. You know what I noticed? I speak to homosexual couples. I don't have a problem with men who are homosexuals, but I'm gonna say this: they don't ever talk about things like that. They might talk about other problems that they might have because at the end of the day, they're still not perfect beings, right? They're still not perfect, but so they're still gonna have their problems like anybody else, okay? But I have never ever out of all of me. I mean, I used to live in Palm Springs. I used to talk to a whole lot of gay men because I mean I've been throughout with West Hollywood, like Palm Springs. Like that was after the pandemic. That was when they started back up the Pride Parade. That was the first place where they started the Pride Parade in Palm Springs after the pandemic, right? So Palm Springs is almost like one of the a big LGBT area. Okay, Palm Springs, California. Um, and so out of all of the gay men talk to the homosexual men I talk to that's in relationships that are married to men that are, or maybe they have a partner or just they have a fiance. I never hear them talk about how their partner or their fiance or whoever will have a problem with paying the bills. I never hear them being called a gold digger. And especially stuff like this with forgetting their wallets. I do not how a man wants to test a woman to see what kind of woman she is if she's a gold digger if she would pay for dinner. You know, well, she can just pay for her own dinner. How about that? Maybe you can test and see if she's a gold digger by her just paying for her own dinner, and you figure out how you're gonna pay for your dinner. How about that? Okay. But I just never heard this with the homosexual couples. They don't do these kind of things in homosexual relationships. Now they might do other things, like I say, people ain't perfect. They're not perfect. They're gonna still have their problems. But they just seem to like value each other more in homosexual relationships then it seems like women are valued. And it seems like it's kind of been like that for a long time. And it don't seem like it's something that a woman can do about it either. Something like this seems like this is something that's been going on with men for a very long time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know some people don't care for the Bible, but I'm gonna these stories come from somewhere. Okay, I don't care how much they change the names of the characters; they come from somewhere. Now, where is it? In Sodom and Gomorrah, when the angels went to try to rescue Lot from Sodom and Gomorrah to get him up out of there. Okay, and his family, and how those men wanted to break in and get into Lot's house and said, "Let us come in and have sex with these guys." And then Lot said, "Here, take my daughters, and you can do whatever you want with them, but don't do this to these men." So Lot was going to allow these men to go and rape his daughters. There's just no. It was going. It seemed like it was going to be. It's like doing something. Even doing something to other men. Was an abomination to God, but it was okay for this man to throw his daughters out there and let these men rape her. That was okay with God, it seemed like. But as far as doing with men doing something with each other, it seemed like it was abomination. But the point I'm making is that these guys have been like that a long time, and who made them? How did they get that way? Who did that? Okay, they've been like that a long time. I'm not trying to criticize homosexuality. The point I'm making is that men just seem to want each other, and if that's the case, I think they just need to leave women alone and stop. But they're not going to do that though. See, that the women need to decide that they're going to leave men alone. Like something is wrong, and you have men that might just really only want a woman to say no. That's not how men are. No, there's a lot of men seem to be the way those men are that tried to go after those angels that was trying to rescue Lot. Okay, in Sodom and Gomorrah, a lot of men just appear to be like that. So I don't like to see somebody who don't think like that to try to change the woman's mind when she see the truth for what it is, and you see these men who really are truly straight or whatever that really do like women, but most probably ain't married to one. And even if they are married to one and treating her right, or in a relationship with one and really, really treating her right, that does not mean that majority of the men are doing that. And I hate it when you get certain people that just because they might be doing right by their woman, or they just might only like women, to make that the case for all men or most men, when we know that's not true. And it just seems like throughout history that has just been the case. So, in this particular plane of existence, and I'm going to say this particular plane of existence, which is false. That's another reason why I wouldn't care, because this is a false realm anyway. I'm just saying, how did they get like that? Maybe because everything is backwards. Maybe because of the mathematics and all the codes are off. I don't know. But men and women are not compatible in this realm. I'm going to say it. I'm going to call it. And women need to stop worrying about why am I not married? Because most men want other men, and that's fine if they just be honest. If they can just be honest about that and stop having women feel like something is wrong with them, I'm okay with it. Well, I don't care anyway. I don't care. I know everything is fake, so I don't care. Like, I know I'm basically projected out from a 0 point or something. So, like, I don't care anyway. Like, nothing is real. It's best not to take anything personally because nothing is real. So I don't care anyway. But a lot of other women do care because, we invest in this false world and we think it's real, because the more we invest in it, as if it's a real world, we believe it's real. And so a lot of women really, really try to figure out what's wrong with them and why they can't get the perfect guy. These men, they fuss about what they got to pay for. They fuss about paying for dinner, but when I hear about these, I talk to when I go to it's a particular place I work at every now and then when they need me. And I'll talk to a guy. He has a partner, right? I mean, like I say, I don't have a problem with it. I never cared about that. Never have. Some people feel like, ugh, but I honestly, I never cared about that. And he talks about his fiance and how right now he lost his job and right now he's a provider, but his fiance worked hard to get a job, and this is not a black couple now. Because it seems like black men complain about other black men the same way black women complain about other black men. So it seems like something's going on with black men, because you have black women that complain about them. That's one thing, but then when you have other gay black men or homosexual black men that have the same complaints about black men, there's something that's just going on with black men. Okay, but this couple I'm talking about, the one, I'm not going to call out the ethnicity, because you never know who hears you. Even though nobody's hardly hearing, my videos, you still never know who might hear it. So I'm not gonna call out the ethnicities, but I'm gonna say they're not black. Okay. Um and yeah, I mean, they having their struggles, like, his fiance at one point was a provider, but he ended up losing his job and stuff. And so now he became a provider, but then his fiance ended up getting another job and working hard. And so, like, they not having a problem with spending money on each other. Like, they're not having an issue. Like, they're not having a problem with that. Like, they don't have a problem with it. Like, if him or his fiance say, I want to go to an expensive dinner and stuff. Like, if they don't have the money, they don't have the money. It don't matter if it's a man or a woman. But it's I just don't hear men in homosexual relationships, when I'm speaking to them, I don't hear them complaining about how expensive the other one is. And I have spoken to homosexual men, how they talk about, oh, my partner is the provider. He pays all the bills in the house and all this stuff. I just don't hear where these homosexual relationships where they are complaining about money like that. But when they mess around and get with women can take the very least. I mean, let's like, for example, black women. They really, most of them, they don't even hardly have standards, and the little standards they try to have is too much. And so it seems like black women attempt to lessen and lessen and lessen and lessen their standards to get a man, but they don't understand these men are just homosexual. I mean, just say it what it is, because I'm not trying to say anything is wrong with it, but these men are just homosexual. You keep trying to lessen your standards and lessen the lessons so they can want you. It's because they don't want a woman. Because if a man requires that, they might not have a problem with it. They're not going to call him a gold digger, but they'll call a woman a gold digger. But a man can come along and get more than that from him, and he's not a gold digger. They just don't like women. It seems like most men are just homosexual, and they've been like that a long time, and there's nothing that women can do about it. But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.